A standard 2-gallon watering can weighs 16 pounds when it's filled with water. In July in Zone 4, it's not that unusual to be watering twice a week. So if you fill this can twice for each bed, that would be about 384 pounds before you've done anything else in the garden. Nobody thinks of watering that way, but your back and your shoulders sure know about it, and they're going to tell you when it starts to hurt. And the good news is, you don't have to carry a single pound of it. There are simple watering setups, not complicated, not expensive, that help you get the water from the spigot to your plants without you having to carry the load yourself or hold garden hoses while you're watering. I'm Carol from Almost 2 Acres. Let's talk about watering your garden as a gardening senior.
Watering isn't just about the weight, it's about the combination of factors that hit at the same time. You're filling and carrying a heavy container. That's a shoulder and lower back load. And you're doing it repeatedly in a single session. Cumulative strain, not one big lift. You're doing it in the heat of the summer when heat fatigue is already a factor. And you're often doing it on uneven ground, between raised beds, over stepping stones, on wet grass, which is where falls happen. The CDC notes that heat-related illness risk increases a lot for adults over 65, and that outdoor physical activities in summer heat are a primary trigger. Watering your garden every evening in July is exactly that kind of task if you're doing it the hard way. The goal for this video is simple. Get the water moving by itself and get you out of the equation as much as possible. On the high effort end, the watering can. I fill it, carry it, pour it, repeat. Full control, but every drop I deliver, I also carried, and my back remembers. Next, a garden hose with a nozzle. I may not be carrying the water, but I'm always dragging the hose, holding the nozzle, and standing there for the duration. Next, a soaker hose. Connect it to your spigot, turn the tap, and walk away. Water seeps directly into the soil along the length of the bed. You return when the timer or your judgment says it's done. Almost no physical work, but it does have to be set up. At the low effort end, drip irrigation. Individual emitters deliver water directly to each plant's root zone. Paired with a timer, your watering can be fully automated. For most senior gardeners, the right answer is somewhere in the middle of that spectrum. A good lightweight hose for general tasks, plus soaker hoses or drip irrigation on your most used beds. Even with soaker hoses and drip lines on your main beds, you'll still want a regular garden hose for filling containers, washing tools, rinsing harvests, and spot watering. So let's talk about what to look for. The first thing to know is that hose weight varies greatly, and most people don't realize how much until they're dragging 75 feet of rubber hose across the yard. Standard rubber hoses are durable but heavy. Vinyl hoses are lighter but kink constantly. The best for most gardeners is a hybrid polymer hose, materials like the ones Flexzilla uses, which are lightweight, stay flexible in cold temperatures, and resist kinking without the vinyl problems. For Zone 4, cold flexibility really matters. Some hoses stiffen up in early spring and late fall when you're still using them, and stiff hoses kink and crack at connection points. Check that whatever you're buying is rated for low temperature flexibility. Here are 2 other things to look for when buying any garden hose. The Flexzilla lightweight garden hose is in the description. It's about half the weight of a standard rubber hose, the same length, kink resistant, and stays pliable in cold spring and fall temperatures. For seniors, the weight difference is the whole argument. A pistol grip shutoff nozzle rather than a lever you have to keep squeezed. The pistol style fires when you press a single button or flip up a handle. No sustained grip required. It's a small thing with a really cumulative impact across a watering session. And a hose length that matches your actual garden. 50 feet of hose that only reaches 40 feet is wasted weight. 75 feet of hose you drag everywhere is also a problem. Measure your spigot to farthest bed distance and buy for that, not for the largest possible coverage. Soaker hoses are where most senior gardeners get the biggest improvement for the least effort. For raised beds, you should snake the soaker hose back and forth across the bed with about 6 to 8 inches between passes. Connect one end at the spigot end of the bed, cap the other end with the included plug. Turn on to low pressure. Soaker hoses don't work at full pressure, and high pressure causes them to burst. The run time depends on your soil type and bed depth, but a good starting rule for raised bed mix is 30 to 45 minutes every 2 to 3 days in peak summer. You'll adjust from there based on what you see in the soil. A few practical notes for Zone 4. Soaker hoses need to come in before hard frost. They hold water in their porous walls, and freezing will split them. Late September is usually the right time here. Drain them, coil them loosely, and store somewhere that stays above freezing. They also don't love direct sun over the years. Under mulch, they last longer. And speaking of mulch, that's the next section because it changes the equation. Drip irrigation is a step up in setup complexity from soaker hoses, worth understanding because it's the most targeted, most water efficient option, and once it's installed, it requires almost nothing from you. Instead of a porous hose that seeps along its whole length, drip irrigation uses a solid supply line with individual emitters, small fittings that drip water at a set rate directly to each plant. The benefit for senior gardeners: you only water where the plants are, not the spaces between them. Less water used overall, and less weed encouragement in the paths between plants. Basic components: a supply line, emitters, connectors, and a pressure regulator. Most drip irrigation kits come with all of these. For Zone 4, a battery-operated timer at a spigot means you can set the schedule once and the system runs on its own. Here's the free trick that changes everything. 3 inches of wood chip mulch on top of your raised beds and around your in-ground plantings reduces soil moisture evaporation by 50 to 70%, according to research from the University of Minnesota Extension. Hear that again, 50 to 70% less evaporation. In practice, that means a bed that you were watering every day in July might only need water every 2 to 3 days. The plants are healthier because moisture levels stay more consistent. The weeds are suppressed, and you are watering less without buying anything. For my zone, wood chip mulch is the single highest leverage, free or cheap thing you can do in your garden. Many municipalities offer free wood chip mulch from tree removal operations. Check with your city or county. Arborists will often drop a load for free if you're willing to take a full truckload. Apply it 3 inches deep. Keep it an inch or 2 away from direct plant stems to prevent rot. Refresh the top layer every spring as it breaks down, which it will, and as it does, it's feeding your soil, which is a whole other benefit. If you take nothing else from this video, mulch your beds. It's cheap or free, it works, and it makes everything, watering, weeding, soil health, measurably better. These are the tools that go with everything we covered today. The Flexzilla lightweight garden hose, it's in the description. Lighter than standard rubber, kink-free, and rated for Zone 4 temperature range. The weight difference from a standard hose is something you feel on the first use. And the Amerla garden kneeler with handles. Even with soaker hoses doing most of the work, setting them up, adjusting emitters, and tucking hose lines involves some ground level work. The handles make getting back up safe. Also, it's in the description. Now let's talk about spigot placement and layout. The distance from your water source to your garden is as important as what watering system you use. If your nearest spigot is 80 feet from your primary garden beds, you are dragging 80 feet of hose every time you water, no matter how lightweight that hose is. If you're at the planning stage for your garden layout, put the garden close to water or add a second spigot. A plumber can install an outdoor spigot for a few $100s. Over a decade of gardening, that's one of the best investments a senior gardener can make. I garden in a town that was able to add a second water meter where the garden water doesn't go through the sewer and is therefore a lot cheaper per month. You may want to check that out. If you're not at the planning stage and your spigot is where it is, a hose reel mounted close to the garden makes the drag and return routine dramatically easier. A wall-mounted or post-mounted reel means you're never untangling a pile of hose before you can water. Our next senior gardening video in this series is one that a lot of you are going to feel very personally. It's about weeding, why weeding causes more joint pain than almost any other garden task, and the tools and timing strategies that let you get on top of it without crouching, pulling, and paying for it for the next 2 days.
Spoiler alert, the position is more of a problem than the task, and that's totally fixable. I'm Carol from Almost 2 Acres. Until next time, let's get growing. I'll be growing in Zone 4.